More and more people are using native plants in their landscaping, but if you take that just one step further and create a native habitat, you can not only restore your area's natural ecosystem, but you can also bring nature and wildlife right to your front door. Every day, John Sibley works with plants and landscapes in Florida, and through his experience, he learned a long time ago that the manicured lawns that everybody wants are not what they're cut out to be.
Not only are they not sustainable, but they're destructive to our overall environment.
That's because lawns require large amounts of water, and many residents also use fertilizers and pesticides. Once those harmful chemicals are applied to a lawn, it's only a matter of time before they seep into our precious water supply and ultimately damage Florida's fragile ecosystem. But there is a solution that John Sibley and others are plugging into.
I've taken up the cause of native plants because it's revitalizing our habitat and our environment.
Using plants that are native to our area helps the environment because they don't need fertilizers or pesticides. And since plants native to Florida have always been here, they've adapted to Florida's conditions, so they're easy to grow and maintain.
During the drought, the majority of people who have native plants planted in their yard didn't really notice a substantial impact, while their neighbors were looking at their plants all dying and spending money watering them.
Native plants also provide a sustainable habitat for wildlife. And in a state where communities are developing faster than we can accommodate them, animals now have fewer and fewer places to live and breed.
The more diversity of plants you have, the more diversity of wildlife you're going to attract.
And you can sit on your patio or your lanai and enjoy wildlife as opposed to being discouraged with weed-infested lawns.
And since Florida is one of the states with the highest number of endangered plants and animals, John Sibley hopes an increase in native habitats will keep many of these species from going extinct. For tools and resources to help you create your own native habitat, just log on to our website at wgcu.org. I'm Larry Richardson, and thanks for joining us on Florida Landscape. Ever think about how much you water your grass? 1 square foot of lawn like this takes about 25 gallons of water a year. That means a lawn this size needs about 100,000 gallons of water every year. So blue porterweed?
Porterweed, coneflower.
Native plant expert John Sibley says planting a native habitat doesn't have to be overwhelming. To show us just how easy it is, he agreed to teach us the best way to do it. The first thing you need to do is decide where you want to put your native habitat.
Typically, people are just overwhelmed with the prospect of having to replace their whole lawn. So my recommendation is to just choose small segments and work from there.
We decided to put our native habitat next to John's nursery. Right there. So we marked off a 10 by 20 foot area, giving us 200 square feet to work with. Once you've decided where to put your native habitat, you need to sketch a design. Make sure to consider different aspects of the area.
This particular site is on the north side of the building, so especially in the winter time, it will become shaded, so we have to choose shade-tolerant plants. We also have an overhead wire coming into the building, which we have to consider. We wouldn't want to use trees under the wire. Right. We have an air conditioner, and we have a meter box, which we have to allow access to.
Working with the location we chose, John came up with this design. This is basically what it will look like after it's planted. Typically, large trees are used for the cornerstone of your layout. Once you decide where the largest trees or plants go, then you can build everything else around those plantings. John gave our area a natural look, but your habitat can be as wild or manicured as you want. No matter how you design your habitat, it will benefit the environment as long as you remove as much of your grass as possible and replace it with native plants.
And the nice thing about it, it's never stagnant. It's always evolving. It's not like decorating your living room where you buy the couch and the chair and you're with it for 20 years. The garden's constantly growing and changing, so it's always interesting.
I get a lot of personal satisfaction. That's how I got involved with this business to begin with, was just because it was difficult to find native plants here in our area.
For more ideas on designing your native habitat, just log on to our website at wgcu.org. I'm Larry Richardson. Thanks for joining us on Florida Landscape. No matter how difficult you think it may be to landscape your home, there are plenty of native plants that are easy to grow in any location. In Florida alone, there's almost 2,500 different native plant species, many of which are available at your local nursery. All you have to do is choose the right plants for your local environment. This is our checklist for today's program. We'll talk about identifying your planting zone and also the habitat around your house and the importance of getting the soil in your yard tested.
And then we have Florida privet.
Before you choose the plants you want for your native habitat, native plant expert